Hey guys, welcome to the inaugural episode of the Gym Talk Radio podcast. My name's Chris Kading, and we will be kicking this thing off with the health sphere.
Now, when it comes to health, I want you to think of this giant circle that encompasses many different points. Now, sure, we got fitness and we have nutrition as kind of the main points of the argument when it comes to overall health. But there's many things that are not talked about that I want to shed some light on. Now, we'll save the stars of the show, physical fitness and nutrition for the end, but I want to start, in my opinion, the most important one that is not talked about enough. This is mental health. Now, I want you to think that this is not just a woo woo type of situation. It's something that has become very apparent over the last 2 years with the pandemic. And it's something that we don't take care of enough. Before the pandemic, we would, it was the no pain, no gain. You sleep a little bit, work even more. And we never took time to really reset as human beings. We don't spend enough time outside where we can reconnect with nature. Now, I'm probably sounding like a woo woo specialist, but all kidding aside, I want you to think about how do you feel about yourself, where your life is going, the relationships that you have. Are any of those things bringing you value mentally? Now, there are plenty of books out there, of personal development in order to get your mind right, in order to be successful. But when it comes down to it, it's really up to you and what you want out of this life that will bring value to your mental health. Now, there are simple practices that you can go forward. If you want to think of this as exercise, meditation is fantastic. You can go onto YouTube right now, type in guided meditation, and find a slew of different sources that can help reconnect you to your mental health. Now, there's also other forms as yoga is great, really focusing on your stretching. And I do want to make ties from all of these different things to the basics of physical fitness. If you go into a workout and your goal is to get strong, lifting heavy with perfect form, you really need to focus on what you're doing, and you don't have the mental capacity to be able to think about all these other things. You just need to focus on your reps because that barbell that's on your back is being pushed down on you, and you need to focus. That alone is a form of meditation that can really even help your mental health. So, the key to this point is health isn't just about the body itself, but the guiding computer that is your brain, and you must take care of it. All actions, all worth, all goals start upstairs. Take care of your brain, take care of your mental health, and the rest of it will come together. The next point I want to make about the health sphere is spiritual health. Now, I grew up Catholic, so this isn't a Catholic podcast, but the thing is, by having yourself attached to some sort of spiritual practice, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Buddha, or you believe in whatever it may be, that may even be the universe, whatever you believe in, having guiding principles in order to navigate this very confusing world that we live in is very important in order just to kind of know who you are in this world. Now, I may ruffle some feathers when I say this. A lot of the religions, in my opinion, are very similar. Now, they're different, but they have a lot of similarities. A lot of the guiding principles, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not cheat, thou shalt not kill, whatever it may be, they're good guiding principles. And finding a connection to your spirit within you is absolutely imperative for your overall health. The next one is not deemed a health trait, but in my opinion, very important when it comes to your overall health, and that is financial health. One of my 2022 New Year's resolutions was to learn how to make my money work for me, because as a trainer, I only have so many hours in a day. So I have to optimize the money that I make in order to set something up in the future that could make me be less stressed about my financial situations. I can create opportunities for other people, whatever it may be. I implore you to go and try to learn how to be educated in finance. Now, that could be investments, that could be creating businesses that provide jobs and resources for other people, whatever that may be. Having good financial health is imperative to your overall health. I grew up in a family of 6 kids where my dad was the only income in the household, and it was stressful, none the least. It was stressful whenever we talked about money. Where is this penny going? Where is that dime going? Everything was under complete scrutiny. When it comes to really finding financial freedom, it's going to the it's going to a restaurant, and when they present the bill, you don't even care how much it is. You know you can afford it. And that alone. Now, I'm not saying that anyone or everyone can do that with ease, but it's something to at least be mindful about when it comes to overall health, is by maximizing how you uh, how you move your money in a way that's beneficial and positive can go a long way with making things less stressful. Just like Forrest Gump said when he was talking about investing in this fruit company, which is known as Apple, and it ended up blowing up. He said, "Hey, we got more money than we know what to do with, and that's good. One less thing." That's the idea, is to get yourself to a place where you cover all your bases, all your enjoyments in life, and you don't have to stress about it. Enjoy this little part of time on this planet, and not have to stress. The next part is meaningful relationships. There was an 80-year-old study that came out of Harvard and found beyond or above physical fitness and nutrition, that meaningful relationships was the biggest indicator of longevity. Now, what does that mean? Humans are very social creatures, with the small exception of the mountain man that wants to go live in the woods and talk to a tree for the rest of his life. Most human beings crave human connection. So, when you're looking at what happened, we locked things down over the last 2 years. You were told not to go see your family, told not to see your parents, your friends, so on and so forth. That takes a toll on the human spirit. So it's fortifying your deep connections with other human beings that are actually beneficial to you, that are like giving back to you and you giving back to them, that there is a nice mutual agreement between the two, that we are good for each other. Let's continue to strengthen and fortify this bond. So I implore you, when you're with the people you love or cherish, really take your time to enjoy the moments with them. As us social creatures go and navigate this world, it, it has been quite clear that we need these connections. Okay, now to the main event: physical fitness and nutrition. Let's start with nutrition. Now, we all know junk food's bad for you, whole foods are great for you. Now, I want to start with 4 simple points that will clean up your diet immediately. The first one is to eliminate, if not, limit, if not eliminate, processed foods. There have been studies that have shown where they've taken one group of people and group one was fed primarily processed foods and the other one whole natural foods. What they found with the highly processed food group that they consumed upwards to 500 extra calories a day. Now, why is this? If you think about it, all of these companies that make these highly processed foods are engineering their food in order to make you want to eat more. So, if you think back, what does a Pringles commercial sound like? Once you pop, you just can't stop. You know, they're literally even advertising to your face that if you eat our food, you're going to eat more of it. You can't stop. It's going to hijack your taste buds. It's going to take over your mind, and you're just going to eat, 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 eat. So if you can limit, if not eliminate highly processed foods, you will see yourself consume less calories. Next one, protein is key when it comes to the macronutrients. It's the most satiating macronutrient that, which means if you eat it or you start your meals off with your protein source, you will naturally eat less because the satiety will set in and you'll feel full faster. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily need to go through animal proteins if you're vegan or vegetarian or whatever. There are many sources of protein, but I do heed this warning that if you are eliminating animal proteins, think about what you're missing out on. For example, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you're not going to be eating steak. Steak, like from a good, clean source, from happy cows. This means grass fed, grass finished beef, where the cows are pasteurizing the field. And we don't need to go down this rabbit hole, but it even has positive implications on the environment if you get your steak from those sources. But if you have any reason not to eat that, whether it's dietary or not, I want you to think about what you're missing out on. Steak is not only just a great source of protein, but it's a source of creatine, it's a source of B vitamins, iron, and if you are not eating them, that's where supplementation comes in. So it's important to be organized and prepared with however you're going to eat. The next point, well, we all heard this from mom and dad. Eat your vegetables. These are the dark leafy greens, your spinach, your asparagus, your kale, your broccoli, your zucchini. They're jam packed with many sources of vitamins. Try to have something green on your plate at all times. And then finally, drink your water. Now, one of the things that I've noticed with clients is that the excuse is like, well, I forget. Well, we have smartphones nowadays. Set reminders in your phone or have a water bottle by you at all times. So that way you can make sure you're drinking water. I always challenge my clients to look into drinking a gallon of water a day. Now, that's a lot. I can contest to that. But if you strive to drink a gallon of water a day, you will find that even on the days that you miss that mark, you will consume more water than you normally would. Water is, other than bacteria, our body's mostly made out of water. So think about the drinking water as changing the oil for your car. All the functions begin to run smoother, which means your heart's going to perform better, your brain, your liver, your spleen, your lungs, your muscles, your bones, everything tends to run smoother. Now, to the final point, let's talk about physical fitness. Now, there's many different modalities as far as physical fitness goes. I want you to think that after we've looked at this sphere, we've hit all the last few points. Now you're on physical fitness, hit that icon and a triangle appears. You will see on that triangle, you'll have strength, you will have cardio, and you will have flexibility and mobility. While those two are different, for the sake of the argument, we're putting them together. Now, think about this. Whatever you're not doing enough of is what your body needs most. So, if you're a meathead who only lifts weights, I implore you to seek out other modalities such as cardiovascular training and flexibility. This could come in the form of, if you're a bodybuilder, go for your walks. Walking is one of the most underrated forms of cardio. and it just increases activity and increases calorie burn, so on and so forth. Then, if you look at going to a yoga class once or twice a week, now you can improve how you move, which will ultimately result in bigger muscle gains. So, the key point to that is make sure you have a healthy relationship between the 3 points of physical fitness in strength, cardiovascular training, and flexibility/mobility. Well, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me on another episode. We'll catch you next time.